coming.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the TDC Today Show that was founded over a decade ago by Jay Stoyan and is headquartered in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and is all about radio, TV, like the media industry, and helping people with disabilities and veterans with things in the media industry. And there are a lot of different podcasts and programs going on. And so we have some good guests today on the show. Our first guest is a longtime contributor of the show, Marianne of Waikiki, who we met through the Happy Neighborhood Project, as an author, app developer, sign language interpreter, among other things. So, Marianne, why don't you come in here and say about who you are, what you do, that kind of thing.
Yes, well, hola and aloha, Emily and Kurt and Sue. Thank you so much for having us here every Saturday. Everybody is welcome to join in and share your stories and acts of kindness. We just had a speaker from the Acts of Kindness Summit, Tammy Rader here, sharing her story and her journey and her products. And well, we all met with sharing our story and products through the Happy Neighborhood projects during the pandemic. And I was a co-host, and I became the HNP Ability Sign Language Interpreter. And through my journey, I've met several amazing people. Actually, 2 years ago, the past week of the 4th of July, I met Dr. Liddy through Happy Neighborhood Projects, who's an intellectual property attorney out of Orlando, who is actually federally trademarking now the Acts of Kindness book series. So yes, I am the author of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 folk manus puppets. The books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and soundtrack by our local artists in Hawaii, Lucy and the Perfect Wave. And Nick's guitar sounds like whales and dolphins. And the first book is called Underwater Acts of Kindness, featuring Noah, the hard of hearing whale, who is recruited by the general of the New Earth Army to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. And we have 500 million people worldwide now with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms and dads coming home who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. And through that pandemic, I was gifted some funds, and I continued to write online courses for each of the chapters with the characters such as Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, for the first book. And you can go visit the website, and you can visit Apple, and you can test your skills by learning the ASL, American Sign Language finger spelling alphabet, the ABCs, the 26 letters, and then you can go play the games and test your skills of finger spelling, the sea creatures names, counting life jackets. You know, we got water skiers here. I'm a boater, sailor, and it's a great journey. And it's really what's happening globally around the world, and the Great Pacific Garbage Patches between Hawaii and California. So a little information, how I kind of got started is in 1999, Captain Moore was sailing across in the Transpac, and they do that every 2 years from Los Angeles to Honolulu, Hawaii Yacht Club, Waikiki Yacht Club. And actually the sailors are sailing this year. They're going to be arriving this year. And Captain Moore sailed through this Great Pacific Garbage Patch and saw the soupy mess of all this plastic swirling around. And there's an organization with Boynton Slat, who is a European young adult who created up this kind of robot machine to sweep around and pick up all the garbage. And he's now doing it worldwide. And it's just an amazing journey. So, I shout out to all the sailors that are going. It's several weeks of a journey. It's a long haul. I've done that. Not the Transpac, but I've sailed around Florida for 91 days, 1,700 nautical miles. And I actually got to book sign with this book at Key West Aquarium, Marathon Aquarium, and went back to Hawaii. And ran into my special education teacher friend, Marilyn Rogers, who introduced me to this organization called Donors Choose. And she and I had met at Starbucks. She pulled out her laptop, applied for my books. Within 10 minutes, we wrote it down. It was Ocean Cleanup. And the second book was Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully for Anti-Bullying. And she posted it, and within 2 weeks, she was funded. So her classroom read the books, and then I went out later and brought actually the Folk Manus puppets, and we passed them around and learned the sign language alphabet and talked story in Hawaii about what we can do to better our world. And it's great literacy to talk story and bring it home to families, grandparents, tutus, your ohana in Hawaii. And so I have a background here. It's Donors Choose. Again, all classroom teachers, United States of America. Now there's 30,000 schools, 3,000 deaf-blind schools. Teachers just need to take 10 minutes, request the books, post it, and someone's going to come through and do their acts of kindness and fund it. So the second book is Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. Again, features Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, and Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee, and we'll be uploading those videos this week with Trevor Gibbs out of Orlando, a charity revolution who's helping me redesign the website. He redesigned the QR code, and my partner team has done the graphics behind here. And it's just been a great journey. And also Righteous Acts of Kindness features Pono the Hawaiian polo pony. So it's polo season in Hawaii, the island of Oahu. And I got to do those journeys, and Pono has a deaf rider, and that's a short story. And again, they have little mini puppets from Folk Manus. So not only the teachers can get the books, they can get the puppets off of Amazon, and someone's going to do their acts of kindness to fund it. So I'm currently in San Carlos, Mexico. I got to do another sailing journey, and I'm working on the climate change book, Cool Acts of Kindness, featuring a female whale named Waterflow. And we're partnering with Clean Water Foundation, Leanne McLaughlin. And it's just been an amazing journey to start this work. And it's been more of a game changer because through the Happy Neighborhood projects, I was introduced to Tony Hunt, who was talking about this Now site and lead generation. It kind of started out for like real estate and realtors, but it's expanded. It's such a game changer. So 2 weeks ago, I had a demonstration from him on the laptop, and we just put in a few words in series. Ocean Cleanup, anti-bullying books, app games, animation movies, and it wrote a nice little short paragraph and about my series. And then we went on to the lead part where we put in elementary teachers, and it gave me a list of elementary teachers. And it can go on and on. It can teachers, grants. I mean, you can just plug in these keywords. It's amazing. I plugged in write a song for Waterflow. Within 3 minutes, there's a song. Within 3 minutes, I had a new website. And what this artificial intelligence brought up, where it had a heart and it had children and signing. I don't know. And this intuitive information in there, it was just amazing. Within 3 minutes. Okay, so, and Suzanne Sims and I, my co-writer, we're applying for Awesome Foundation grant out of Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii, where she won a $1,000 grant. And I plugged it in to write a grant for Suzanne Sims to receive $1,000. We have a soundtrack. Nick's guitar sounds like whales and dolphins. Within 3 minutes, it wrote a grant to Awesome Foundation. I sent it to Suzanne. I'm like, this is just blowing me away of what it can do. So there are some limitations. I'm overusing it because I'm just so excited. It's like Christmas for me. So you can only put so much in because I'm trying to create the characters for this next climate change book. Then it goes, nope, you did too much today, something else. But then I went into give me grants. Okay. And it gave me a list of grants of people for just how I can contact the acts of kindness. Then I asked it, how can I write a query letter and who do you suggest? Because I want to know who J.K. Rowland's editor, literary agents. It gave me a list of all these different organization. So I went on right away and got onto their website and got onto their newsletter. So if AI is telling me this stuff of how to use it and how much easier we can get these acts of kindness books out there to the USA schools, libraries, deafblind schools, and it also told me how to contact some organizations to get funded for the animation movies, for sign language, and for my app games. So I got lots to do this summer since I'm not sailing, but I'm looking really excited to it because it's 85 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm in air conditioning laptop, and I'm just gonna have a blast. I'm not a gambler, but it's kind of like a casino. You put these words into it, within 3 minutes, boom, you're a winner. Because oh my gosh, it just saved me so much time. So I'm so grateful I got to meet everybody through the Happy Neighborhood Projects. And I'll pass it over to our next guest. So that's been my experience. So go out and play. The website's up, actsofkindnessseries.com. There's a QR code. We're uploading all the books and products and videos in the next week. So thank you so much, and I am happy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marianne. Always a thrill to hear what's all happening with you. And I'm excited. We've been playing a bit with that Now site and the technology that's there, that artificial intelligence. It's amazing what it can all do. And it's not hard. Any of us can use it. It's actually just 5 minutes of somebody showing you some basics and you can be up and running and figuring it all out. So I think it's super cool, and I'm excited for what you've all been able to do already with that. So now we do have another guest joining us here. I just want to reach out and ask real quick with Beth, if you are in a good spot, if you'd like to come on and join us and say hello to everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. I'm on some pain stuff and it makes me tired, but I think I didn't get enough sleep last night. But this is great stuff you guys got here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to just introduce yourself a little bit and tell everybody who you
Sure.
are?
I'm a disability mediator, and I also do marketing, and I'm a writer. And I don't know what else there is to say. I'm going to school in August for mediation, and I'm taking some mediation classes. And that's about it. It's enough to keep me really busy.
Excellent. Very
Yeah.
good. So, well, and how did you get introduced to the crew here? I'm trying to remember actually where the connection.
Well, I think initially I got started on Facebook. It was something that Emily and Kurt had posted. Something about the world of ability or something like that.
Mhm.
Disability now, ability now, something, and it spoke to me. And so I just jumped on, and from then on I've been hooked.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
There's so many things, so many moving parts, and so many fun people that we've had the chance to meet along the way here. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, I know you said with the writing that you do, I think you might have some fun too with what the artificial intelligence abilities are out there. I wonder, you should play with that a little bit and see what you end up thinking of all that too, because that might be a fun time saver along the way.
Well, artificial intelligence isn't new. I mean, I have dystonia, and I know people who are worse off with dystonia use robots or use motorized things to like move their arms if they can't move. And that's been around for a while. It's just not real public because it's a real rare thing. And they're still in the working stages of understanding the brain and body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just
it is
the brain
so cool.
itself. And even with my hearing loss, I'm almost completely deaf, and I have a head injury, and they don't understand why I have language as good as I do, but it's a part of my brain. I'm autodidactic, so I taught myself to learn language. And I just watched people and did Sesame Street, and I did, what else did I do? Mr. Rogers, he teaches you how to get along with people and get along in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And I still watch things now and then, and I like the Pink Panther. You know, it's just fun, and it's really a cartoon for adults rather than kids. And I like intelligent TV. I watch a lot of Channel 2, and so I learned a lot from that.
Awesome.
So I'm into animals and insects, but not more animals than insects. I don't like the spider or the fly, but I'm okay with them, but yeah.
That's right. I think you would actually really enjoy what Marianne does too with her, with the animals that she has incorporated into all of her books, and that it is so a lot of what hers. You know what? Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can pull one up. She just pulled out her book. I've got
Oh, that is cool.
that here.
That's really cool.
And this fun friend.
Oh yeah, that's cute. Is that
So
a
she's
crab or
talking-
a lobster?
That's Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. And he helps Noah, the hard of hearing whale. After Noah was hit by a black speedboat and loses his hearing, he has to go to the rehab reed crab clinic, and he learns the
that's
finger
cool.
spelling. And so yes, he's a mini and large puppet, and he actually does. I have a video that will be uploading to my website again, and he teaches the ABCs, and that Shaka, the sign language shark, is very sharp at reading
that's
sign
cute.
language skills. And he has King Octo the Eighth, who teaches the signs of peace, love, happiness, and thanks. And they build a wellness tank for the sick fish. There's King Octo. And we have Flip and Flop, our service alpha dolphins. And we have a sea turtle called the General of the New Earth Army, who recruits Noah, the hard of hearing whale, to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. And there's several gyres around the world. And we have 500 million people now with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms
in Canada or worldwide?
Worldwide. And we have
because I
millions
know they used to say 40% of people, but that's why I say the cell phone companies, they got to change the phones, because I have a phone that's 90 GB, but most of the phones are not loud enough. The cell phones, and the ringtone isn't loud enough, and then you can't hear the people on the phone. The other thing I was going to say that helped me learn was Montessori. Montessori was really good, and that's really how I learned to read, was SRA and Montessori. But I wish Montessori wasn't around when it was around when I was little, but they didn't have the junior high and high school and college. I probably would have liked that. I would have learned a lot from that. I didn't really learn very well in school. I had to learn on my own. And even when teachers were teaching me things and I knew it wasn't true history, I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it because it sounded too far-fetched.
Yeah, that's everybody has a
stuff
different.
they were leaving out. They were leaving out the Indians, the African Americans, the disabled. Except they did talk about Roosevelt, but not much about his disability. And his was from polio, so it was different. But
you know, and everybody learns differently. So being able to have different resources and different methods for learning is so important, because we're all different, right?
Right.
So it's a matter of figuring out what works best for you. And again, like with the hearing loss, to be able to have resources for family members to learn just even some basics to help with communication is such a blessing.
Well, now computers have every sign language word out there. You can just Google ASL sign, kaleidoscope or whatever. Yeah. But not too many people use that word. So I don't know if I need that sign, but yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, what I was saying too was that with 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss now, millions of moms and dads in the military are coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So if the teachers are getting the books in the classroom for free from donorschoose.org, they can Skype to moms and dads worldwide saying, I read this book about ocean cleanup, anti-bullying. I learned the finger spelling, sign language, alphabet. And guess what? They may be encouraged. I had a passion in high school and took a class as a credit. And I went to go on to school for audiology and psychology. And I went to school for sign language, and I became a case manager for the deaf. So we are in need of future sign language interpreters, and nurses in hospitals can use this in the hospital room where you're born into this world in diapers. You may be back in diapers, such as a stroke in the hospital. saying, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, change my diapers, mommy and daddy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
basic signs and they're great stories. And no one has used anything with sign language characters. So kind of think of me as like your next J.K. Rowling, Dora the Explorer, and we're going to retell like Hello Kitty. And Walmart and Target and Amazon carry these 200 beautiful, fluffy, cuddly, large and small folk Manus puppets. So it's been a great journey to create it. And the creativity and imagination just doesn't stop. And, now I had some funding. Now I can show other people the app games. And now I can go on Now site, look for different grants and organizations. And I do believe I found a new home, Sue. It's they're called Morgan's Wonderland. They're out of San Antonio, Texas. This father created an ability park for his son, and it's huge. And they got a water park. So I'm going to be on a podcast later this week with my intellectual property attorney, Dr. Liddy, to talk to 350 million people worldwide to share my story and talk to her about how we can approach this ability park to bring in the characters and the books and a stage. And I'm really excited because I believe that would be a beautiful home. And it's, unlimited. It's unlimited what I'm doing and creativity and sharing the good news. And again, I'm working on the cool acts of kindness for climate change and partnering with Leon McLaughlin with Clean Water Foundation and bringing filters in there. And it's just going to go on. So I have a future and I know I have a purpose. And that's the good news about everything. So I'm so glad you're here to share with this. And we're going to be benefiting with more people. So if you can share the good news too. Again, my website is that's actsofkindnessseries.com. And it's donorschoose.org. And we can just share the good news.
Awesome. Well, I can't thank you both enough for being here and sharing what you all do, because there's so much need. There's so many people. I don't think everybody knows somebody who has some kind of a hearing difficulty, and like you were saying, with all the military, it's just so widespread. I love what you do. I love what you bring forward. So Marianne, thank you so much for being with us as always. Beth, thank you for joining us. And so for Kurt and Emily, and for me, my name again is Sue Roscoff. We are here with the TDC